on this Monday from New York. Welcome to Get Up, presented by Wendy's. And once again, everyone is all abuzz because Doris Burke
Yes!
CB.
Yes!
Tons of football coming today. Adam Schefter sent a note that said this will be the most significant 2 weeks of the NFL offseason by far, and we will get to that. But speaking of a significant little stretch, how about the weekend that LeBron and the Lakers put together Friday night against the Bucks, and then yesterday in a road game, if you will, against the Clippers? And you know what I loved about this game, Jay Will? LeBron and Kawhi going head-to-head so much.
This is what everybody wanted to see. The two best players potentially in the world guarding each other both offensively and defensively.
And Doris, they were both ready for the challenge.
Well, you got LeBron caught peeking, and you're so concerned now because Kawhi's so much better of a passer. Well, he dunked it on your head because you're concerned about what's next.
Clippers were up 4 at halftime. Oh, and there's Kawhi again driving around him. Kawhi would score 27 on the day, so he was ready. Let's go to the fourth quarter because this was a good game. LeBron did not attempt a field goal in the third, but then he heats up.
Well, he kept getting the matchup he wanted. He would involve any player in a Clipper uniform in a pick and roll, would get the matchup and then attack that matchup.
And how about this move, Doris?
Well, 6 of 8 times they get baskets off of his pick and roll action. He is still physically dominant. And again, you're anticipating a screen, and that opens the right-hand drive, and look out when LeBron's at the cup.
Lakers up 10 after the made free throw there. Then LeBron takes a little rest, and this was a big shot by AD.
Listen, when LeBron's off the floor, AD has got to be dominant. Yes, sir. Kiss that hand because you were rolling, my man.
And watch AD. How about him down low here, Jay?
Well, how about 5 players in a blue uniform are staring at LeBron James? There's actually poor weak side management of spacing, but AD gets a dunk.
He would score 30 on the day. Less than a minute left now. The Lakers are up 9. Say goodnight, Marcus Morris. He had a tough day.
Yeah,
LeBron,
take a video of that. I would have taken a video of that too.
LeBron James, 28 points, 7 boards, 9 assists, and capping off what was really a sensational weekend with fans, again, theoretically, in a road game, chanting his name as MVP, and his teammate Kyle Kuzma doing what all the rest of us did. Crown that man on the sideline. What a win for the Lakers.
It's a really good weekend for us. Playing against 2 of the best teams. The top 2 teams in the league, including with us, as far as record-wise. But no matter what was going on throughout the course of the game, we just held our composure. We continued to get stops. We continued to execute, and the rest is history.
Hey, we know the type of team that we are. If we don't do things that to beat ourselves, then we feel we can beat anybody, and we're a tough team to beat.
So, Laura, we were here Friday, and the very last conversation we had, we asked Richard Jefferson, with the Lakers going into these big games, Friday night against the Bucks, Sunday against the Clippers, what will their record be? And he said they would do well to come out of it 1-1. With wins in both, Doris, what do we say of the Lakers this morning?
Well, they're the favorite to win the title, and I think the most impressive thing I saw was that in the final 5 minutes of the game, of both games, LeBron James was willing to guard both Giannis and Kawhi Leonard. He was willing to absorb the physical challenge of both of those things. And Jay Will, the final 13 points, LeBron James had a hand in against the Clippers. He was absolutely dominant. They didn't have a physical matchup for him.
I think this weekend was a demonstrative statement for LeBron and the Lakers. Obviously, with LeBron guarding, Giannis took on that challenge. And then I think this game meant a lot more to the Lakers than it did to the Clippers. It seemed like the Lakers have way more sense of urgency. They wanted to show that they can compete at a very high level when the Clippers already had 2 wins against the Lakers.
We keep talking about a home atmosphere for the Clippers, but really it favors the Lakers. As you project to maybe what you would see in the playoffs, how much does that factor in? Just a little preview of what we've already seen.
Well, a 7-game series in that building will be a Laker home 7-game series. There's no question about it. And listen, I thought a couple of things. Number one, the Lakers did not play at their peak in either of those 2 games. They were under 30% from three-point territory. So let's make no mistake, there are things for them to build on, but there's another level or 2 for that team to get to.
And I also question the Lakers still, their bench scoring. They only had 6 bench points in the first half. Avery Bradley stepped up massively in this game with 24 points. Dion Waiters, I think, could help that. But you always felt like the Clippers were in the game, and you wonder how many times will Lou Will go 3 for 12, or also Marcus Morris, who averages 19 points per game, only had 1 point.
Lou Williams is an interesting person in this because if you watched what happened down the stretch of the game, LeBron James manipulated the chess pieces until he got the matchup with Lou Williams, and eventually you take him out of the game and you put Patrick Beverley in. The Clippers have more scoring. than the Lakers. As you said, notable to the bench and their starters. But when you can play one of those scorers off the floor, you close that gap.
So about 40 minutes ago, Jay and I were on SportsCenter, and he made the observation that they asked a lot of LeBron yesterday. He played that game like it was a finals game, and they're running all these bodies at him. Is it realistic that he can do that for 7 games over the course of a 7-game series, carry that much of the load?
I don't think there's any doubt that he can do it. And listen, a week ago Sunday, I said the narrative that this gap between LeBron and Giannis was insurmountable for the MVP race was inaccurate. There are 20 games left for the Lakers, 18 left for Giannis. I don't have to put pen to paper. I said it on SportsCenter this morning. At this point, I'd still go Giannis. He may set the single best PER in history. He's been dominant. He could win Defensive Player of the Year. But I don't have to make that choice yet. And the gap is much closer than we think. So let's stop closing the door on this MVP race. And Milwaukee people are going to be all fired up. You're out of your mind. No, I'm not. Charles Barkley, I'm not out of my mind. Not crazy.
You know, Doris, coming into the weekend, I thought that, Giannis had an actual lead, but after just watching the way that LeBron took on the challenge of guarding Giannis, I know it's a lot for just 2 games, but it's like everybody says that Giannis is taking the torch away. No, I feel like the torch is on layaway for Giannis. Like, he's still making payments towards the torch of being the greatest. LeBron James came out and made a statement about, I still am the greatest to play in the game.
Here's the thing that I went into that Milwaukee game thinking. What will the Lakers do defensively? They played their hand in that matchup. Giannis has spent the entire season bullying people, mean-mugging, dunking on your head, sending things into the 10th row. Guess what? Anthony Davis and LeBron James went right at him physically and said, you will pay a price to play us, and we're coming at you. Like, that was a message.
Is LeBron playing his best basketball that he's ever played in year 17 of his career?
Well, here's the thing that's amazing about it. You didn't see him take possessions off. So many times in NBA games, you see great players, all right, I can catch a breath here, I can catch a win there. It's even down the stretch when Doris mentioned that, he just continually attacked constantly. And he was also challenged on the defensive end by guarding Kawhi. I mean, when you're guarding Kawhi and you're guarding Alexa PG, you can't take possessions off when you have to win that type of game.
I will just make the point that when LeBron was guarding Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi was 5 for 6. So Kawhi will have his say before this is all said and done.
Fair.
And I will say once again that I opened the show by pointing out you cannot spell LeBron James without the letters MVP, which I particularly liked because none of those letters are in his name at all. All right, Doris is here all morning long. Jay Will's here all morning long. We have a ton of basketball coming your way, but let's...
4th best records, respectively. Beating the Clips for the first time in 3 meetings. This is the first time the Lakers have defeated 2 of the top 4 teams in the NBA in consecutive games since February of 2009, when they won back-to-back games against the Celtics and the Cavs. Kobe and those Lakers went on to win the title that season, and of course the next, with none since. It's time now to welcome Mike Greenberg and Jay Williams. Good Monday morning, fellas, as you get warmed up for the show. Yes. So, want to hear from you what you think this weekend says about the Lakers as they move forward now towards their ultimate goal.
Yeah, Richard Jefferson told us on Friday that he thought that they would do well to be 1-1 this weekend against the Bucks and Clippers. After we saw him, what did you make of that?
Huge statement win for the Lakers. I still don't think they're the best team in basketball. I still give that to the Clippers. Lou Will is not going to go 1 for 10. Marcus Morris did not have 1 bucket down the stretch. And it took so much of LeBron James to handle this down the stretch. But still, a monumental win. And I do think, though, what happened, Greeny, is that LeBron James took the lead in the MVP race. I do think that happened.
I agree with the performances both on Friday night
Yes.
and then yesterday, and the crowd was certainly letting him hear that, chanting all of that. And this game yesterday in particular had such a playoff atmosphere, and if there's one thing you took away from it completely, because that was theoretically a Clipper home game yesterday. If these teams meet in the playoffs, it will be 7 home games for the Lakers.
Yes, it will be. The main question is LeBron James, the amount of energy that he had to exert. Could he do that for 7 games? You still felt watching the game that, all right, when are the Clippers going to get back in there? Like, how many shots can Kawhi miss? How many shots can PG miss? How many shots will Lou Will miss? The firepower is something that inevitably, Greeny, will keep them in so many games this season.
Or you got Anthony Davis making big runs when you need them. He's got the best running mate that he's ever had. Say that again. Dwayne Wade, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Kyrie
Irving, magnificent career. Anthony Davis right now is a top 3 or 4 player in the NBA playing alongside him.
The main question is, can the bench for the Lakers, can Avery Bradley, can guys like Dion Waiters when he comes back in, can they give them that extra boost boost offensively. Down
You know who's here this morning to help answer those questions? Doris Burke is
Yes.
here with us. So we'll be talking hoops with her. We got a ton of football coming up.
I hope you had a great weekend, but it's time to get back to work with him. Storm. I'm David Lloyd. No one had a better weekend than LeBron and the Lakers, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say. If you did, we want to hear about it. Litmus test, passing with flying colors. They beat the two teams they made very